How about Shem Al Shabbat Shem Rakakudah Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Christians don't want to hear this Christian-ish. Christians don't support Christians because it's dead. It's a dead concept, a religion. Anyway, this is his name is Dwayne. I don't know his full name, but he recently had a debate with Captain Tazariak. Now I noticed he did a video the other day, maybe 2 days ago. I said, this guy don't get no views, and he was on there for more than an hour. And I came across this one. I don't subscribe to him. Anyway, this is more than an hour, 64 minutes ago. He had 4. Now he got the extra one because I came up in there. You know, if I was to go off his page, he'll lose that. It'd be down to 5 or 4. But nobody wants to listen to that. Let's say you get a whole bunch of jakes that follow Christianity. They're going to be bored. You guys in Christianity have nothing to offer. You guys never go into the prophecies. I guarantee you he doesn't know anything about the prophetic books. Like, I'll run down the line. Isaiah, the whole book of Isaiah, mainly chapters like chapter 13, pretty much the whole book, chapter 34. You know, Daniel, what does he know about Daniel? They don't go into prophetic breakdowns because they don't understand. They can't decipher these breakdowns. Anyway, last night we were doing a live, and Apostle Gabar had pulled out Revelation 5, and he started somewhere, I don't know, the 6th verse. I said start the 1st verse. See, in order for you to understand this book, when I say this book, I mean the whole book, which includes the prophecies, it has to be unsealed to you. Let me come here. Let me go to Isaiah 29. Isaiah. And like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, we don't need Christians. Christians need us. Anyway, if you had another Israelite, I go head to head with the Israelites. I do this to the Israelites. I make an Israelite admit that they were wrong. Then he'll get a whole lot of hits because the Christian community, for the most part, are looking at, oh, Jesus this and Jesus loved everybody, and that's it. You can be a Mo, you can dress up like a woman. If you're a man, you can eat whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. But all you got to do is call on Jesus. Now, if they want to go deep, nobody's going to listen to them, you know? Was that Isaiah 29? I may even read this in the NLT, maybe even the AMP. Just wait till it to come up. Wait for it to come up. Just wait for it. Give me a second. I'll give you the verse in a minute. Go right to the point. It says, stay yourselves and one to cry out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. One of the things that they're drunken with, one of the intoxicants that they're drunken with, or intoxicated meaning in poison. Toxins mean poison, which do harm to your body, can cause death. Get enough poison and you die. Christianity is an inpharma, in a poison. So they're drunk. Jake is drunk off of this Christianity, this what I call a slave plantation Christianity. Because Jakes in America that go down south, most of them are Baptists, some of them Methodists. You go to the Latin countries, that's all Catholic. Because who conquered them? This conquistadors. And you go to Haiti, the French took them over. The official religion of the French is Christianity in the form of Catholicism, which is a world religion. You come up to the States, like I said, the southern states, even the northern states among Jake, they're mostly Baptists. Some of them are Methodists because that was the slave master were Baptists for the most part. Not too many Catholics in America, except the ones that came from like South America. But not with wine. They're drunk with Islam, being a Moor, Christianity, and all kind of other crap. They stagger, but not with strong drink. And what they do is sometimes they raise up in Christianity, and sometimes they become warlocks. They become witches. They go into Islam. Most Jakes that embrace Islam were normally Christians, Baptists or whatever. For Yahweh hath poured out upon you, the Israelites, the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, your spiritual eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered. So these guys that say that they're prophets and not prophets, the Most High covered their eyes. That's why I said, go to any Christian, go to this guy Dwayne, and go into these prophetic breakdowns: Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Obadiah, Joel, Zechariah. Zechariah, how you living? Inside joke. That goes way back. If you you don't know what I'm talking about. Hosea, Malachi, Micah. These are just some of the Amos. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of the book that is sealed. The book that is sealed is the Bible. You can open the book and you can read the words in the book, but you can't decipher the words. Decipher means to break the circle, which men deliver to one that is learned, meaning you went to a theological cemetery saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. Now when you go up and tell them to read this and tell me what it means, go into like Revelation 13. They'll either make up something on the fly, or they'll say that I can't because it's a sealed book. But wait a minute, did not the Messiah open the seals? You didn't get the memo from the Messiah? He opened the seals. He opened the seals during the time of the apostles. He broadened their understanding of the scriptures, especially with the apostle Paul. And John, the seals were open to him in Revelation chapter 5 because he wept. And I'll read that because no one could open up the seal, but Yahweh Shai opened it. So the fact that we break down these prophetic scriptures is because the Spirit opened our eyes to see it, decipher it. None of you Christians, none of you scholars, I don't care if you spend 50 years in a theological cemetery. I don't care if you're a professor of theology. In any of these cemeteries, you do not. That's why when you deal with a Christian, go into the prophecies. Go into Revelation 13, Revelation 20, Revelation 6. What does a white horse represent? The red horse, the black horse, and so forth and so on. What does Isaiah chapter 34, 4th verse, 5th verse, speaks about the heavens rolling together like a scroll. What does that mean? Now, if you say no, even the AI, the chat will tell you that's and I did a video on it that it's that they liken it. Certain scholars liken it unto a mushroom cloud, but back then they didn't call it a mushroom cloud. They called it looked like it was a scroll being rolled together. I have a scroll in my house, and if I open a scroll and roll it together, it looks like the mushroom cloud. So that's what Isaiah wrote down. And John on the Isle of Patmos wrote down because he saw the mushroom cloud as well. He said the same thing. The heavens rolled together like a scroll. He saw the missiles, the ICBMs from Russia and the NATO and the EU countries that possess missiles, and any other country, whether it be Pakistan, India, Iran, any other country that possesses missiles will shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great. It's not going to be great no more. So you don't understand that. So that's why this guy Dwayne or even Vocab never go into any prophetic scriptures because they don't know them. They don't know them. It says, stay yourself and wonder, cry out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh have poured out upon you, the Israelites, the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets, these prophets that don't get it are not the true prophets. They're false prophets. And your rulers, your kings, the seers, which is another word for prophet. The seer just means to see, from the Hebrew word ra'ah, which means to see something in the future, to see something before it happens. Have he covered? So did he do it to all the prophets? No. He woke us up. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed. You got the book, but you can't decipher the book, which men delivered to one. Like you're from America, you speak English, you write English language stuff. You get a book, a Japanese book with all kind of secrets in it. Well, you might as well throw the book away because you can't read the Japanese language, a Japanese form of writing. So it's not going to help you. Now, if you have a Japanese guy that read it for you and break it down for you, that's one thing. Or you spend X amount of years learning Japanese, then you can read the book. So it's the same thing with the scriptures. The Bible, the scriptures is written in a different language, meaning it's a spiritual language. I cannot, for it is sealed, and the book is delivered unto him that is not learned. Somebody whose grandmother had a veil over and said, "Oh, the Lord told me that you're gonna be a great preacher." Saying, "Read this, I pray thee," and he saith, I am not learned, meaning I didn't go to Apostle Paul was taught, and he received education from Gamaliel, which his father set him up with Gamaliel. Gamaliel was a master of the law. Now, the Apostle Paul's father was also an expert in the law because he was a Pharisee. So he studied. He was considered a learned man, and his son Paul was considered a learned man. But he received further education by Gamaliel. Do some research on him. He mastered the law, and he made Paul a master of the law. That's why, in Philippians 3, he challenged the. Give me a second. You go to Philippians 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Philippians 3. Okay, Philippians. Give me a second, y'all. We're going to do this Philippians 3. Let's try 3. Okay, 3 and 9. It might be 3 and 9. Give me a second. Okay, here it is right here. I gotta go all the way up. Let me do this. The goal of life, finally, brother, and beware of dogs. For we are the circumcision. I just want to go to the point. I don't want to read the whole thing, though I might have confidence. Okay, though I might also have confidence in the flesh. if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. What does he mean by that? That meant that he was a master of the law. That means he kept the laws. It was very rare that you catch him breaking a law. He kept the Sabbath day. He ate the dietary menu. He didn't commit adultery. He didn't kill anybody. There's little laws that are broken out there that you break. He even said that in Romans 7. But he said, as far as if you want to have a contest, who can keep the laws, more laws than others, he'll win every time, because he was trained in the law. It says circumcised the 8th day. So guess what? He came in a household that the father and the mother were both Israelites, and his father had to be a devout man of the stock of Israel, meaning he's an Israelite, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of Hebrews. Well, what does it mean by Hebrew of Hebrews? You had the Moabites are Hebrews, the Ishmaelites are Hebrews, the Edomites are Hebrews, but he's a Hebrew of the Hebrew, meaning he's an Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, as touching the law, a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, touching righteousness which is in the law, blameless. So you can watch Paul night and day, and it's going to be hard to find him breaking the law. And if he does, it'll be a slight law. Like I said, he said that he broke the law, but he was damn near perfect. It said, but what things were gained to me, those I count loss for the Messiah. Meaning all that lost stuff I had, I can throw it out because I have Yahweh Shai. Even though that's showing you that you break all the laws in the world, you can still be delivered for coming to Yahweh Shai. It says, yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency. When he says all things but loss, the fact that he kept the law so perfect, or almost perfect, excellent. So when Nate pushes that law stuff, they're clearly going off. They're clear. Well, sister, why are you wearing pantses? First of all, she doesn't know she's an Israelite. That don't make no damn sense. You putting the law before the Messiah. That's why you're going to get broken up. Of the knowledge of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Now right there, Lord is, I looked that word up, is Kyries, which means superior. From whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, crap, shit, that I may win the Messiah. That's why the scribes and the Pharisees, the Yahweh Shai didn't bless them, because they were going by the law and they were not chosen. They were not a part of that elect. 9th verse, and be found in him and having mine own righteousness. That's what the IUI say. You got to keep them laws, see? Brother, you got to take your hat off. And that's in 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. No, that's only if you're praying and prophesying. So they established their own, their fair toward me are taught by the precept of men. In this case, is one man, which is Nate. Nate says something, them guys follow it. Certain scriptures that condemn what he says, but if he says it, you can do it, you can do it. It says, which is of the law. But so that's the least thing you should tell a person. Come up, brother, you got to keep the laws. You don't tell a person that. That's stupid. The first thing you tell them, you might go into the scriptures. There's many ways to approach somebody. You might go into the scriptures, and you might show them certain things in the scriptures, and you might say the salvation comes up, and who can be saved? And you tell them, well, only Israelites could be saved. That's why you got to eventually tell them that they're an Israelite and that the book is for you. The blessings of the book is for you. Well, what about the other nations? It's not for them. They're going into captivity. And if they got a problem with it, they can walk down the street. So I got the attitude that Ariel, and I try to work with niggas. Ariel said, if you can't get it, then walk on down the street. And sometimes Ariel push you down the street. Ariel got off that podium and hemmed up people, man. When he was younger, he hemmed up. he used to do that pretty much on the regular. That spirit jump on them, he'll grab you up and hem you up, and then we would have to come in the middle of that. You know, Ariel back in the day, he had a heavy spirit. We were speaking in Harlem, and which is that's Harlem is dead. Them niggas is gone, bro. But anyway, there was two Jakes. They were talking. They were scoffing. And Ariel got off the thing and went after them. And one guy pulled out a switchblade. And then Ariel kept going after the both of them. But they were running. They were moving backwards. And Ariel he got lost. He following them guys. The spirit got on him. So I told Killer Priest, okay, which was Karamaya. I said, look, him and a couple other brothers, I said, go follow wherever our High Priest Ariel, go follow him, make sure he don't get in trouble. So he followed guys. And one guy had the knife out, talking about, I'm gonna stab you. Ariel kept coming after him. And Karamaya and whoever else was with him. And the first thing that happened was, when we got back at the school, Ariel said, I want to bust them guys down there. And I said, okay, Ariel, you can bust them down, but you got to bust me down first. You got to take my rank, because I told them to do what I told them to do. That's what they did. I told them to do it. So it's my fault to take my rank. Then he calmed down. He forgot about it. But I was able to calm Ariel. Ariel was able to calm me down too. You can calm down, brother. Calm down, brother. Be good. You know. And that was the days. It was a hell of a time, man. We used to have fist fights on 34th Street. Yeah, boy. Anyways, let me get back into this. So, when you're dealing with Israel, you can't tell them to keep this law, brother. Why you wearing that on, brother? You know, why are you wearing this? You got to keep this law and don't keep that law. And no, you tell them that they're Israelite and that the blessings of this book applies to the Israelites. If you're not an Israelite, what about my mother? She's a white woman. She's not blessed. Maybe she could be a Jake that looked like an Edomite woman. You understand? So I was going into being sealed, right? Let me come back over here. And let me check on my friend Dwayne. Now he might say, why don't you debate me? I say, you give me $50,000, I'll debate you, okay? And if you got that $50,000, I will debate you. And I will do it you doing it for the money, you damn skippy I am. Look at that. Maybe his thing is over. Let me see. His thing is probably over. Let me see.
The same message that you just said.
Then you got a fucking
these people
woman
in the world cannot take. There's people in the world that are taking themselves out because they don't have God in them. They're not allowing God to come in. But
wait a minute. This is still live. It's 3 minutes shy of 90 minutes, and there's only one person in him. Christianity is dead, man.
I have God in me. I'm in my right mind. No matter these days.
Okay, so it finished. Okay, let me do this. Okay, let me do this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, so now when you find out who was watching, Let's check the numbers here.
Joshua, praise the Lord, brother Joshua. God bless you.
52
Antoinette,
goddamn people. Goddamn, bro. 52 people. Now I might do a video. I get no notifications, and I might get 60, maybe 70 people. Sometime 100 if notification, whatever. And once my video ends and I refresh it, it might be 250 people. It might be 300. Then maybe 10 hours later, it might be 500. It might be a couple of days. It might be 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, or whatever. This guy, this is over an hour, almost an hour, 15 minutes. You watched it from the beginning when I put the video, set up this video. He only had like 3-4 people. Now he got 30. Ain't nobody watching this bullshit. Ain't nobody watching this. Oh, I want to have a debate. I said, you not on no level. You like a guy that got in the box. You had your first fight talking about you want to fight Mayweather. I think I can beat him. Are you crazy? Are you out your damn mind? So anyway, let me go over here. I wanted to look up the word sealed. Okay, the word here is khatham. Khatham. Let me see how he says it.
Strong's H 2856. Khatham. Khatham.
It sounds similar. Khatham, khatham. Khatham. To seal up, affix, fasten, up by sealing, seal, to lock up. So this book is spiritually locked up to you Christians. That's a topic right there. This book is spiritually locked up to you Christians. That's why you can't get it. And I challenge any of you Christians out there to break down, I don't know, Revelation chapter 6. Break it down. To be stopped, right? Kathum. It's a primitive root. So let's go over here. So I'm not going to be too much longer. Revelation 5. Oh boy, Revelation 5. I just want to go to sealed first. Matter of fact, I'll read it. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. So let's look up the word seal in the New Testament, in the Greek. It's important to go into these words, these root words. So this is in the Greek as opposed to the Hebrew in Isaiah. Let's listen to the word.
Strong's G 4973. Sfragis. Sfragis.
Sfragis. Sfragis. Sfragis. To seal, place upon books. A signet ring. The inscription or impression made by a seal, like in the ancient movies, they'll put wax, candle wax. It'll be red. Sometime in like the papal bulls, they would use red candle wax and they would let it melt. And there's a blotch there on a letter, and the Pope would, or the king or whatever, would put, the monarch would put his seal, his signet. That's where you get the word signature from. Your seal, your put. So when the letter was being delivered, they know if somebody tampered with it because they would break the seal. Right? So this is a spiritual seal. You can open up the book and read it till the cows come home. But can you understand it? And the answer is no, because it's sealed to you. That's why you got, Bishop Nathaniel, the bishop. You got Bishop Nathaniel talking about, as of 3 years ago, that there's an actual hell that your spirit goes down into and burns forever, and Israelites will be burnt in hell that it ain't right with the Most High. So we know he crazy. We know that man ain't in his right mind. And as it stands, he's not one of the elect in my eyes. At least he repent. Remember, I tell you, he had a dream that he lost the oil. He told us that at when this big split came. He said he had a dream that he lost the oil, then at the end of the dream, he got it back. He better hope that the end of that dream come to pass. Because the Lord is definitely not dealing with him, period. What he teaches, he puts certain precepts together. I call them scriptures that they bring out a scripture. Okay, go to this scripture and they hit this precept. Those are called got you scriptures. When people don't know the scriptures, they hit you with them got you scriptures. But if somebody like myself or somebody in GMS, a real brother, a rooted brother in GMS, they'll fuck them up. One of the things I would ask them is, number one, you guys say, where's your fringes at? Where's your phylacteries? Where's your paddle? Where's your weapon? That's one thing I would ask. Another thing I would say, when does the Sabbath come in? Friday, Sunday, and Saturday. I said, prove that in the scriptures. They'll go to a bunch of scriptures. I said, you didn't prove a damn thing. I would ask them about hell. No, hell is real. I said, well, was hell real 4 years ago? Was your spirit burning in hell real 5 years ago? 10 years ago? So either you guys had demons back then because you were getting on this when GMS always get on the IUIC. Y'all got to leave us alone. This goes back 10 years. Well, you had demons on you back then. Either you had demons on you back then or you got demons on you now. Either way, you got demons on you. So the demons did not jump off you. There more demons jumped on you. Watch what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to do to Bishop Nate, Nathaniel, and IUIC. He's going to break it up. What happened to Sakari? Yahweh Shem Yahushua broke it up. Now, can Elazar get back on the horse? If he's one of the elect, he'll get back. He'll do his thing. He'll straighten up and fly right, and he'll be out there. Whatever. If that, I can't point at the brother and say you're not one of the elect and you are one of the elect. We say that we're the hopeful elect. This is serious business right here, man. You're dealing with the plans of the Most High. You're afraid of your damn boss, but you ain't afraid of the Most High? Are Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua? Are you kidding me? The inscription or impression made by a seal of the name of the Most High and the Messiah stamped upon their foreheads, that by which anything is confirmed, proved, authenticated as by a seal or token of proof. The seal is that you can open the book and read the book, but you can't decipher the book. You can't break down the book. Come on back. 7 seals, meaning completely sealed. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open a book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven nor on earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Meaning you can look in the book, but you can't break it down. And I wept much. Who wept much? John. He wept because the book could not be unsealed. Because no man was found worthy. So we open the book because we're worthy. Why are we worthy? The Most High made us worthy. Even though we have sin in us, even though we're imperfect. We are virgins in the sight of the Lord, pursuant to Revelation 14. And I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders or the angels saith unto me, Weep not, behold the Lion of the tribe of Judah, which is Yahushai, the root of David, meaning he came from the direct lineage of King David through the sperm. What does that mean? That Joseph was a biological brother, the biological father of our Lord, and that his line goes back to King David. When they had the census, and I'm gonna go to that in a minute. I believe that's either Matthew 2 or Luke. I think it's Luke 2. Luke 2, they had a census, and it tells you that he is from the lineage of David. If there was a Levite that had impregnated, let's say it was a Levite named Jacob that impregnated Mary, and the child was born. That wasn't the Messiah, because the Messiah was not going to come as a Levite. What's the difference? They're the same nation. Nope, they got to come from the tribe, down to the tribe. And not just a tribe, that seed got to come directly through the lineage of King David. It says, Weep not, behold the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb. That's the lamb, the Messiah, as it had been slain. He was slain, having 7 horns. Horn meaning power, 7 horns meaning complete power, and 7 eyes, complete understanding, complete foresight, you can say. 7 means complete, which are the 7 spirits of the whole spirit body of the Most High, sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, that's worship, fall down before the Lamb, every one of them having harps and golden vials full of odors, incense, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song. We always go to Revelation 14, but you go to Revelation 5 and 9, sung a new song. The new song is what we're teaching now. Everything that we teach here in GMS is the new song, the perfect song. We ain't messing. You ever listen to a song, you listen to it for a couple of times and you mess up the lyrics, and then you realize, oh, that singer was saying this. Rooted David. So now let's go to the word root. So these Christians don't understand it. You had this guy, the head of GOCC. The Most High is going to destroy him and the GOCC. The Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai, is going to destroy him and the GOCC in the future. Talking about he challenging people to prove to him that Cornelius is an Israelite. Look, the reason why you teach it that way, because you filled with demons. Root. Now, if you hang around with Mexicans, especially out in the West, they'll say La Raza, Viva la Raza, like long live the race. Raza means race, which goes back to the word roots or gene. Let's hear it.
Strong's G 4491. Chridza. Chridza.
Mexicans say Raza, Viva la Raza. A root, that which like a root springs from a root a sprout, shoot, metaphorically, offspring, progeny, or progeny meaning to go forward with, and gene or gene means seed, go forward with the seed. When a man lays down and put the seed into a woman, that's from the term progeny. So the Messiah couldn't be the Messiah unless a man, by the name happens to be Joseph, had sexual intercourse with Mary. This is another reason why we don't deal with Christians, because they're bugged out of their freaking mind. They're masters at regurgitating the crap that they learn, and they don't question anything. That's the way it's always been. Mary was the father. Joseph was never the father. And then they'll try to go justify it by scriptures. Well, this kills. It says the Lamb, which is the Messiah, came from the root of David. That means he's from the exact lineage. Let me show you that Joseph was a direct descendant of King David. He wasn't just no average Judite. Let me see. Okay, I'll start from the top. Luke 2:1, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree, a demand from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed. Yeah, because a empire, when you take over other nations, you make them provinces, and what you do is you can either put them in slavery, or you can say you can do whatever the hell you've been doing. You can keep your religion, your language, you can keep your customs, you can keep your land, but you got to give us a percentage of what you produce. You know, if you have 100 cows and 100 bulls or whatever, and you have sheep and goats and whatever, they might say 5% of all that. So we know that every year that cattle is going to multiply. So they estimate, let's say it multiplies every year 20%. So, you know, the Romans is going to take some from the top. They might take 5%. And it really wasn't all bad. They became tributary. Now the gladiators in certain other positions, the gladiators were slaves that had to fight. But then you can become the history of the Caesars. When Jake took over, a lot of gladiators, great gladiators, became Caesars. If I'm not mistaken, the movie Gladiator 2, the role that Denzel played, he played Mike Cranus, which was an actual guy, because we did the research on him. Because when I saw it, I said, how the hell is Denzel in the movie? And I said that was during the time of that was one. I don't know if it was 118. I got to look it up. No, it had to be about 218, 217 AD. Because Commodus, I got to go back into it. Give me, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. I was trying to get in divine reversal of divine reversal. A divine reversal is a religious in a religious context is supernatural turnaround orchestrated by the Most High to transform negative or challenging situations into positive outcomes. He's going to turn, the scriptures say, I believe it's Ezekiel, I will overturn it, overturn it, overturn it. So he's going to overturn this devil, right? From despair to hope, ye prisoner of hope, defeat to victory, right? Or darkness to light. We're in a dark time. We're coming to light. Okay, where did I say I was going to go? Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. The Roman Emperor Micranus. Micranus, Roman Emperor. Give me a second, y'all. The Roman Emperor Caracalla. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Matter of fact, bear with me, y'all, for a minute, please. All right, Claudius. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. These are all Jakes. All these were Jakes. He wasn't a Jake. Diocletian was a Jake. Commodus was a Jake. Let me do this. I'm sorry, y'all. Cut that. Caracalla. Caracalla. Caracalla, right? Look at that. That's a Jake. By the way, he's the son of Septimius Severus. You can see that's a Jake. He looked like a bunch of brothers in the camp. He looked like a lot of Israelites. That's a Jake right there. And Esau tell you that Caracalla was a black Roman emperor. I might even ask him that. Okay, let me see. Okay, you got Caracalla. I want to see who came after Caracalla. Born, assassinated, children, siblings. What time did he rule? Okay, this was. Okay, Caracalla. Okay, 2017. Who came after Caracalla? It was Micranus, which is a character. Let me see. Who came? Let me do this. Who came after the Roman Emperor Caracalla? Let's try this. Micranus. Now that, and Denzel had the beard. They had him look like Micranus was a Jake. In the movie, The Gladiator 2, they had Caracalla. They made him look like a real super pasty Edomite. They said, yeah, because there we go. There we go. I just wanted to go on that. You know, every once in a while I go into a little bit of Roman. He was succeeded by Elagabalus, which this guy put the order out to chop his head off and bring his head back to me so I know he's dead. It was black on black crime, so to speak. He's Jake. They had hateful gangbangers, man. You want to talk about gangbangers? So let me see. Let me come on back. So that was 218 AD. Caracalla was the emperor before him. The emperor before Caracalla was his father, Septimius Severus, which he was a Jake. Before him, then you had Septimius Severus, you had Marcus Aurelius, you had Commodus. These were all Jakes. So Bishop Nate, stop sounding. You sound stupid when you say they were the first Jake, because you regurgitate that shit from Yeshaya. The first Jake ruler, we took over the Roman Empire. When you take over the highest seat in the Roman Empire, so many words, you take over the Roman Empire. That's why Esau is so hard on Jake now, because they have the records that they moved up into rank, and they pushed Esau out. And at that time, different women were in love with Jake men. When your woman, Esau's woman, loves the enemy, which is Jake, they fantasize about Jake and they get with Jake. That's your kingdom is done. Your kingdom is done, bro. When your woman ain't with you, your kingdom's done. It says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree or order, demand from Caesar Augustus, which he was the longest ruling emperor. He ruled after Julius Caesar. He ruled it had to be 45 years. Some say 41, some say 44. Anywhere between 41 to 45. And then Tiberius ruled for about 20, which was half the span of his rulership. That all the world, what does it mean by world? Their empire, should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. So where did Joseph had to go? Even though he raised his son in Nazareth, he had to go back to the city of David, which is Bethlehem. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Yahweh, unto the city of David, which is Bethlehem, which is called Bethlehem. Bethlehem, Bayath Lacham, meaning Bayath is house and Lacham is bread, house of bread. But how many Christians know that? Because he was of the house, because Joseph was of the house and lineage of David. What does it mean by lineage? This is why we do not, we do not engage with Christians, because they're knuckleheads. So you can look up the word lineage. Lineage. Then I'm going to close it. Lineage running back to some progeny. The progeny means the same. Progenitor, I'm sorry. Progenitor, pro meaning to go forward. Genity or gen meaning seed. Push forward the seed. How do you push forward the seed? by you having sexual relations with a woman, and you, as we say, bust it up in her, and a baby's formed. So that's what happened. Go to David. David's son was Solomon. Solomon had his son Rehoboam, on and down the line, and that line went all the way to Joseph. And Yahushua couldn't just be a Judite. He had to be a Judite from the lineage of King David. A nation, a tribe, a group of families, all those who in a given people lay claim to a common origin. He had a common origin that the line of Joseph went back to David. The Israelites, which distributed into 12 tribes, descended from the 12 sons of Jacob. It's a little bit more complicated because you got Joseph, and then you got Ephraim and Manasseh, which were not, they were grandsons of Jacob or Yaquab. These were divided into families, which were divided into houses. Right. The house of Judah, tribe of Judah, family, in a wider sense, nation, people. So the direct lineage of Yahushua goes back to King David through Joseph, his father, not through his mother. We don't have conversation with Christians because they're stupid. They don't understand. They're master regurgitators. And like I said before, they need us, we don't need them. And that's real talk. So nobody's going to see this guy. You know? This is like a word, like a graffiti type, hip hoppy type Christianity. That you hip hop Christians, the Most High gonna cold destroy y'all, man. Anyway. Right, there are no more wives left. Yeah, they're all hoes. Men say women have it easier and are worse than ever sleeping around. Yeah, these women are gone, man. That's when the missiles can't come quick enough. A new scum court creating and removing an NGO, which means non-governmental organization, to take Palisades money. Santa Barbara now burning down. The mass of the people, they can't wake up. They trust their government officials. Everybody's waking up to who the real leader, who runs the show. Anyway, yeah, this guy, 56 people. He only had like 4 people watch. When I came, it was 4 people watching his live, and he did it for over an hour. Christianity is a real joke. So, anyway, Shalom.